All right, so get this. We're going deep today, like seriously deep. We're talking crystalline energy centers.
Yeah.
You heard that right. Crystalline.
Sounds a little out there, right?
Oh, totally. But
Oh.
that's what we're diving into.
Hmm.
And to get there, we're going to this wild source material.
Yeah.
It's called, get this, the law of one.
Ever heard of it?
I hadn't until recently. It's basically a bunch of channeled messages, right?
Ugh.
From this entity, this being calling itself Ra.
Right, Ra. And Ra claims to be, are you ready for this? A sixth density social memory complex.
Sixth density social memory complex. I mean, come on, that's straight out of some sci-fi movie.
It does have that kind of ring to it, doesn't it? But here's the thing. Even with that kind of, let's say, unusual origin story, the stuff Ra talks about is really fascinating, especially when it comes to, familiar concepts that get this whole new twist.
Like energy centers, for example.
Exactly. Most people think of chakras as like these swirling vortexes of energy,
It's
right?
right.
Yes.
Spinning wheels of light. The
Yeah.
basics, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But Ra shakes things up a bit. They present these energy centers as structures that can actually, get this, evolve into crystalline forms.
Hold on. Crystals. Like actual crystals. In our bodies.
That's the wild part, right? But it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Crystals are known for their order, their structure. They hold and transmit energy in such precise ways. And Ra is suggesting that as we balance and activate our energy centers, they become more like that, more structured, more refined.
So it's not just about energy flowing freely, willy-nilly. It's about that energy actually becoming more organized, more, I don't know, intelligent.
Exactly. And that transformation, that crystallization, it signifies a deeper connection to, well, universal energy and a refined ability to work with it.
Okay, stay with me here, because then it gets even wilder. Ralph actually describes specific geometries for each energy center as it crystallizes.
Yeah.
So picture this. The root chakra. It's not just a spinning wheel anymore. It becomes like a spoked wheel. And the sacral chakra turns into this like three-petaled flower. And the solar plexus, hold onto your hats because this one becomes a multifaceted star. It's like we're talking about a blueprint for spiritual evolution here.
And those shapes, those geometries, they're not random. They actually reflect the function, the qualities of each energy center. For instance, you mentioned the solar plexus becoming this multifaceted star. Well, that might actually relate to its role in distributing energy and power. Think about it. Have you ever, felt a specific energy center light up during certain
Oh,
situations?
totally. Like when I'm giving a presentation, and I was like, I can practically feel my throat chakra buzzing.
Weird. Oh.
Not weird at all. It could actually be a sign of that center becoming more active, even
Yeah.
starting to crystallize. It's pretty cool when you think
Mhm.
about it. Okay, so let me get this straight. Everyone's going through this crystallization process. So does that mean we all end up with the same, like, crystalline structures inside us? Like, are we all cookie-cutter energy beings in the end?
Well, that's where the law of one throws us another curveball. See, Rand emphasizes that no two crystalline structures are identical. They're actually shaped by our experiences, our journey, the choices we make. It's kind of like snowflakes.
Snowflakes.
Yeah, think about it. Each snowflake is unique, right? But they all come from the same, underlying pattern.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So our energy centers, they're like energetic fingerprints, each one telling the story of our individual path.
Precisely. And this ties into one of the core principles of the law of one, the idea that each being is a unique expression of the creator. So the more we evolve, the more our crystalline structures become a reflection of our individual journey and our unique contribution to the universe.
Hold on. I need a second to process that.
Yeah.
Are you saying that, like, my purpose, my reason for being is somehow encoded in the structure of my energy centers?
That's the beauty of the law of one, right? It's suggesting that our individual growth isn't just about personal enlightenment, but about fulfilling a specific role in this grand tapestry of creation.
Okay, officially mind blown. But if we're all these unique expressions of the creator, how do we all, fit together? How do we interact? Do these crystallized beings, do they work together somehow?
That's where this whole idea of planetary service comes in. Rawl describes these crystallized beings as conduits for universal energy, like they're channeling healing and balance into this thing called the planetary energy grid.
Whoa, hold on, planetary energy grid. Now we're getting really out there. What is that? Like a giant invisible energy network connecting everything.
You got it. That's exactly what Rawl is suggesting. It's a pretty mind-blowing concept, and it actually ties into a lot of different spiritual traditions, too.
Okay, so if we, like, become more crystallized ourselves, could we actually tap into this grid
Mm.
and influence the planet? That sounds like something straight out of a superhero movie.
It might sound a little wild, but in the context of the law of one, it makes sense. Remember, Ra talks about Earth transitioning to fourth density, this realm of greater love and understanding.
Right, right. Fourth density.
And this process, this transition, it can be a little bumpy, and crystallized beings with their, refined energy systems could actually help smooth things out.
So it's not just about personal growth. It's about actively participating in the evolution of the planet itself.
Exactly. Our individual energy work becomes an act of planetary service, contributing to the collective ascension of consciousness.
Okay, I'm all in.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we actually cultivate these crystalline structures?
Mm.
Ra mentions this balancing exercise, but what does that even mean?
The balancing exercise, as Ra describes it, is this journey of self-awareness. It's about becoming more conscious of our energy centers and learning to harmonize them.
Okay, so where do we even begin?
Ra suggests starting with a simple examination of each energy center. Think about its qualities, its purpose, and how it shows up in your life. For example, the red ray or root chakra is associated with survival, grounding, connection to the physical world.
So I'd ask myself, how do I experience these qualities? Am I feeling secure and grounded, or anxious and scattered?
Exactly. And as you explore each center, you'll probably notice areas of imbalance or blockage. Maybe you're overly focused on security, leading to an overactive root chakra, or maybe you're neglecting your physical needs, resulting in an underactive one.
So how do we bring those energies back into balance?
Ra really emphasizes acceptance and understanding. Instead of judging yourself for these imbalances, just acknowledge them. The first step is becoming aware of the patterns and then trying to understand why they exist.
Okay, so no self-criticism allowed. But what do we do once we've identified those imbalances? Do we just think positive thoughts and hope for the best?
It's more than just positive thinking. Ra talks about using the power of your will and intention to actually direct energy through these centers. It's about becoming an internal energy alchemist, working with the flow of universal energy, or prana, to bring things back into harmony.
So we're not just passively observing our energy, we're actively working with it.
Exactly. You can use visualization techniques, affirmations, or even specific breathwork practices to consciously move energy through those centers. For example, if you notice an overactive root chakra, you might visualize a calming, grounding energy flowing down through that center.
And what about underactive centers? How do we energize them?
You can use similar techniques. Imagine drawing vibrant energy up through that center, activating its qualities. For example, if you want to energize your blue ray or throat chakra, which is associated with communication and self-expression, you might visualize a bright blue light filling that area, allowing your voice to be heard.
It sounds like we have way more control over our energy than we realize. But is this balancing exercise a one-time thing, or is it something we need to do regularly?
Barone is very clear that it's an ongoing process. It's not about achieving some perfect state of energetic bliss. It's about continually refining and harmonizing your energy as you evolve. Think of it like tuning a musical instrument. It requires constant attention to keep it in harmony.
So we're constantly fine-tuning our energy centers, becoming
Exactly.
more and more resonant with universal energy.
Precisely. And as you become more adept at working with these energies, you'll naturally begin to embody the qualities of each center in a more balanced and harmonious way.
Okay, I can see how this all ties back to personal growth, but how does this balancing exercise relate to the planetary service we were discussing earlier? How does individual energy work actually impact the collective?
That's a great question, and it brings us to one of the most fascinating aspects of the law of one. As you harmonize your own energy centers, you become a clearer channel for universal energy to flow through. It's like clearing the pipes, allowing more energy to pass through you and radiate outwards, impacting the overall energetic field of the planet.
So it's like we're amplifying positive energy and broadcasting it to the world. Sign me up. But I'm still curious about this whole fourth density transition. What exactly does that entail, and how do our crystalline energy centers play a role in this cosmic shift?
All right, so fourth density, it's a big concept. Think of it as the next stage of evolution in the law of one framework. It's often called the density of love and understanding.
So Earth is like leveling up, moving towards a higher state of being.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Ra describes it as a realm where awareness goes beyond the individual self. Compassion and empathy become like the driving forces.
Less ego, more unity. I like the sound of that. But how does Earth actually transition? Is it like flipping a switch?
Not exactly. Planetary transitions, they happen gradually. It's all about the collective consciousness. As more people embrace love, compassion, service to others, the planet's vibration shifts.
So we're literally raising the vibe. That's pretty cool. But if we're moving towards this, loving fourth density, why is there so much chaos in the world right now?
That's a great question. And a lot of people ask that. Ra says this transition can be pretty rough. As the planet's vibration rises, those who are holding on to, lower vibrational patterns, fear, separation, all that stuff, it creates a lot of dissonance.
Like a cosmic detox.
Right.
All the negativity coming to the surface.
You could say that. And that can manifest as, well, conflict, polarization, natural disasters even, as the planet sheds those old energies.
Okay, intense. So where do our crystalline energy centers fit in? How can we actually help with this transition?
Remember we talked about crystallized beings becoming conduits for universal energy, radiating healing and balance.
Like energetic superheroes or something?
Well, imagine a critical mass of people developing these structures, all radiating love, compassion, understanding. That could really counterbalance all the chaos, don't you think?
So by working on our own energy, we're actually helping the collective shift. Like we're forming this global network of, like, light workers, amplifying the good vibes.
Exactly. That's why understanding the law of one's perspective on all of this is so important. It's not just about us, it's about actively participating in the evolution of the planet. Our choices, our actions, they have a ripple effect.
Wow, we're all connected. But how do we know if we're, ready for this fourth density? Is there a checklist or something?
Ross says there's no test or anything like that. The most important thing is the orientation of your consciousness. Are you choosing love over fear, service to others instead of just yourself?
So it's about the direction we're heading, not some level of perfection.
Exactly. It's about aligning with those fourth density qualities in our thoughts, our words, our actions. And remember, the law of one is all about free will. You choose your own path.
This has been an incredible deep dive. Crystals, planetary service, fourth density. I mean, come on.
It's a lot to take in, for sure. But the key takeaway from the law of one is this. Each of us has the potential to be a beacon of love and light. We can contribute to the positive evolution of ourselves and the planet.
We're not just watching this cosmic drama unfold. We're a part of it, co-creating a brighter future. And as we cultivate these crystalline energy centers, well, we become part of something so much bigger. This network of beings working together for a new era, peace, harmony, understanding. It's a pretty powerful thought.
It really is. And who knows, maybe as more of us embrace this potential, we can help shift things towards a more harmonious future for everyone.
What a great note to end on. We've covered so much ground today. But it's really just the beginning. We encourage you all to check out the Law of One material. See what speaks to you. The journey of self-discovery never ends, right? And who knows what amazing transformations are waiting for us as we learn and grow and, well, crystallize. Until next time, keep diving deep.